when my wife got pregnant, it was pretty funny thinking about it now, because we're like, we'll just fly home to Bozeman. We'll have our daughter be delivered in a Bozeman hospital. We'll stay with friends and family for a few weeks, and then we'll just fly back over and go to work. And we were just so naive. We didn't understand what having like our first child was going to do to our lives. And so as soon as like our daughter came out at the hospital, I was like, dude, there's no way we're going right back to Africa.
No chance.
But that was interesting, because it was a complete like burn the ships moment then, because we thought we were going right back. And so we didn't have other jobs lined up. We didn't have a house. We're like, we're just going to come home, have her delivered in America, and then head back over. And when we realized that was not happening, now, like, especially like me as a man, now I'm stuck back at home with no job and this brand new baby.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad it worked out that way, because it was like either go back with my business degree and get some sort of corporate job, just because the safety risks were just like way too high to bring a baby over there, and just like the travel and security and everything. So it's like, go get a corporate job, or kind of like finally start this Mountain Tough thing that I'd been thinking about forever, because I knew for a long time that there should be a specific way to train for the backcountry.
Yeah.
And no one was doing it. No one had done it. And I always kind of saw that opportunity. There was always that big kind of like blue ocean opportunity where someone should do a step-by-step plan for people to get ready for these mountain goat hunts or these elk hunts. And I knew that like so many people got crushed by the mountain. And then a lot of people trained the wrong way. They either ran all summer or lifted all summer.
Yeah. And
also, you look at like all elite sporting organizations, and everyone's training for the mission.
Specific.
Yeah.
It's
so like
functional training.
Yeah. And even like you in football, like your training was specific to the role you played on the field.
Yeah.
Like a wide receiver is going to train a little bit differently.
Totally different.
Yeah. And so no one had said like what are the skills required to be successful at high elevation, rugged terrain, multiple days, and then handle really, really heavy packs. And the only one that was close to that was like military special operations. But even
because of the rucking. And,
because of the rucking. But even them, like, they're doing a little bit of this, but they're not doing with like Black Hawk helicopters and stuff. They're not doing a lot of like, oh, we're going to ruck in for 7 days, hit a target, and then ruck out. It's a lot more these days. Like, we're going to land, sprint 100 yards, hit a target, and then get out. And so when we looked at that, it was like, man, we should create a step-by-step plan for people to thrive in the backcountry. And so when I was back at home with that newborn baby, it's like kind of like go for it now, because there's like no strings attached to our life, or go back to corporate America. And we just kind of went for it.
Which is, you didn't come from like I know you guys ran and everything, but you didn't come from like a fitness background. Like, you're not a strength coach or like, like that wasn't ever. So how did you go to like, did you take any schooling, any classes? Like, what did you do to like figure out how do I put programs together that make sense?
Yep.
Like, how did you figure that out? You know what I mean? Was it just like trial and error? Did you do it yourself? Just you put yourself through those workouts and then go hike that season and be like, oh, that worked.
Yeah. A big part of it was the team we created. So it started really bootstrappy, like American Dream bootstrap. Like, our friend created the logo. I took the logo and I put it on a flyer, and it's the same original logo we have today. And it said Mountain Tough, looking to train backcountry hunters. And it was old school flyer where you like tear off the phone number on the bottom. Yeah. And I hung it at the bow shop, the local bow shop in Bozeman, Big Sky Archery, and 3 guys called. and I started training them in the park behind our house. So I was just training them. It was like pull-ups on the monkey bars, and lunges across the soccer field. And at that moment, everything I was doing came from my experience as
the shit that you're dealing with out there. Yeah. What muscle groups are, like if anybody's had elk hunted, not on a private ranch and had to go out and like really hike 10, 12 miles in a day, knows what is hurting.
Yeah.
Your hips and your quads.
Yeah. You're going to want to do some lunges.
Yeah.
So that was like the original creation, was I was doing all these park sessions, and the park sessions went from 3 guys to like a 20-person morning class. And then I would have like a morning class, a noon class, and an evening class. And then I did go and get certified. So I went and got, my NASM certification and as like a personal trainer.
Yeah.
But it was really the team we created originally. I knew that to be successful as a backcountry hunter, the most important thing was their mental toughness.
Yep.
And so one of the first guys we hired was a ranger that was a lieutenant colonel, had been in the ranger community for 21 years. And then I went and hired another military guy that had just gotten home from the SEAL teams. So he did 9 years at SEAL Team 5.
That's perfect.
And then
the perfect little crew.
We built a really cool team. Yeah.
So you got a ranger, a SEAL, and then what was the third one?
He was like the local legend trainer. So he was the local legend in Bozeman that, like, my whole life growing up, you knew that, like, if someone was going to go climb K2, or if someone was doing an Everest expedition, like, this was the guy you'd go see.
What's cool that he wasn't a hater about it.
Yeah.
And actually was like on board with what you had going.
That was amazing.
Because a lot of times what happens is you get he's like, oh, he's taking my clients, you know, and then he's a hater. Now you're like, it's like, dude, we could work together. And
it's pretty amazing how that worked out. So we had my hunting experience, and then we had his training experience, and then we had the military experience. And that's when because the first year was the park sessions, and then I built the team. And then when we built the team, we said, all right, let's take a hunting specific program online.
How much were you charging people per class?
For the park?
Yeah.
Oh, it was cheap, man. It was like, I don't know, like $20 a class or less or something.
Yeah. That's something affordable.
Yeah. Yeah. The park sessions were fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I bet those were fun. I mean, you don't have to, what kind of equipment would you bring out there?
Well, at first it was like no equipment.
Yeah.
Because we had just got home.
Did you have people bring like their bow or their whatever?
We had them bring in their packs.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I started buying like a bunch of gear, and I'd throw it in the back of my truck with like dumbbells and stuff like that. And then we bought like a E350 like sportsmobile type van for a while. And then we put the Mountain Tough logo on the side of it. So I'd show up to the park in the van, and we'd like dump all the equipment out and run the park sessions.
That's pretty cool.
It was cool. Yeah. But
that's really cool.
When we built the team, we're like, let's build a step-by-step 16-week plan to get someone ready for high elevation, rugged terrain. And then our ethos was like, we're never going to put something out that we haven't tested ourselves. So with that core original team, we built the very first version of Mountain Tough Backcountry Hunter preseason prep. And for some reason, I knew on day one that I needed to scale Mountain Tough globally. I didn't want it just to be a Bozeman gym. I wanted it to be like accessible to anyone in the world. And so we built that original program and we put it online. So it was a video-based program you could buy that would train you for 16 weeks. But we didn't have any other programs at that point. We didn't have an app or anything. And that first, just a website. And that first program, that one really did explode. That one, it was kind of like the whole hunting community, the backcountry hunting community was kind of sitting there waiting for something like that to exist. It's kind of like they knew they should train a little differently, or they knew that they should not just be doing cardio or strength, but no one had ever said like, oh, here's exactly what you should do every single day. all summer to be better prepared.
Well, I think what you also, just what you've done, not to cut you off, but what you've done is you created without knowing, you created a whole community, right? That already existed. They just, hunters and outdoors people don't really want to be around other people. So it's hard. Like for me, it's like, if I could be around other hunters and outdoors people, that's what I prefer to be around, because then I know like that. Yeah. We know it's like when somebody's been through something. Yeah. That, like I know what it's like to just fucking, it sucks. And you just made it through it and you just do it, So it's that thing, that community that you create. So you find hunting buddies in there, and you find, it's a community, and you hold each other accountable, and it makes people want to show up, which is really cool. And then to take that online and create that community online. Yeah. That's even bigger. So now you're doing in person, and now you're doing online. And how long did you do the, just like the website before you moved to the app?
Yeah. So we went website for quite a while. It was like 5 years, but it started to expand. So we had preseason, and that one just took off. And then we started postseason training. So just like a NFL athlete, we knew that like there's some smart things you can do in the off season to be even better next season.
Right.
That one took off. And then we started doing like in season and spring training camp. So the website started to get built out to where if you're a backcountry hunter, we are going to take care of you every day of the year. And that community continued to grow and grow. And then COVID hit. And when COVID hit, all of our customers started calling us and saying like, this is great, but now I have no gear. What should I do? And so that took us down like a whole nother lane of like minimal gear training, no gear training, body weight training, pack training, weight vest training.
Which is great, because not everybody can afford
gear,
a gym, like to go to a good gym. You know what I mean?
When we were growing up, it was pretty rare to see someone with like a sweet home gym.
Yeah.
And now,
oh fuck yeah, it was not.
Yeah.
I knew like one person that had I know two, but it was like one had like actual weights. The other one was just like pull up bars and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like nobody had it.
I remember it was like 1 out of 20 dads growing up would have like the Bowflex machine.
Oh yeah. Those things are garbage too. Not the shit on Bowflex, but those things suck.
They're so bad. Yeah. So COVID, I think everyone started going to train at home, and they had no gear. And then after COVID, people are like, I kind of like working out at home. I like cutting my gym membership, or I like not having to drive to the gym. It's better for my schedule. I can hang out with my kids. And so that shifted our business a bunch too, because for 6 years, it was definitely like barbell squat rack focused. And then COVID shifted our business to, it's about 50% minimal gear people now. So 50% minimal gear, 50% full gear. And then most people now are just bouncing around through busy lifestyles. So they're traveling, they don't have gear. They're back home, they have gear. And that community just kept building and building and building. And we were just building products that our community was asking for.
Yeah.
And it was 2021 where we went full native app, and that really significantly changed the game for us, because native app, so like native in the iOS store, Android, all your smart TV streaming platforms, it opened us up globally to a lot more eyeballs. So there's like New Zealand backcountry hunters, Australians, a ton of Europeans, a ton of like guys hunting the backcountry of Mexico. It opened us up to all these people that normally
those Baja guys.
Yeah.
Those guys, dude, that's some rough country down
rough
there,
sheep country.
Yeah, that shit is awful.
Yeah. So the app completely changed the game. Not only did it open us up to all those people, but it also, we switched the business to subscription. And subscription, like those old programs you'd buy, like Mountain Tough preseason prep, $300 lifetime access. But now it's just like Netflix or Hulu or Spotify.
Just a monthly.
People are just doing
it's a subscription.
Yeah, and it just unlocks everything we have.
Yeah.
So it's been a.
Do you guys do anything? I was always before you came. After we did our podcast, I was like, man, I wonder if he ever does like a hey train, like we can do like a virtual training session where it's like, I'm going to do this workout, see if you can fucking beat me, you know?
Yeah.
Like I've never done it before. You're doing it with me for the first time. Like, and we schedule it.
Yeah.
And it's all on Zoom, and it's like, you just need a TV or a phone, or everybody has a phone access, right? So everybody sets their shit up and we just fucking get after it together, you know? Like, do you ever do anything like that?
We haven't done that yet. Like, we haven't gone to the level of live training.
What is it called? What is that fucking bike called?
Peloton.
Yeah. Well, I'm not promoting Peloton because they're fucking woke, but
yeah.
But Peloton, like they've figured it out where they have like their spin trainers, and think about that. Like, if you can't fucking get on a bike and figure out how to like make yourself tired, then, you know what I mean? So this is like, to me, I think that would work. I think that it wouldn't be something I'd want to do all the time, but like if you want to do something like that, I'm down.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
And I don't know. We'll see what people think about that. We'll maybe do like a little poll
for sure
on Instagram or something, see what people think.